Romance of Sui and Tang Dynasties Chapter 3.
Up front, the text is about its philosophy.
Yeah.
Doesn't bury the lead.
Not at all. Right at the start, it lays out this core tension we're going to explore. It says, look, national fortune, misfortune, yeah, it's tied to heaven's will, destiny, fate, call it what you will. But it's overwhelmingly caused by human action. That's the key phrase. What people do.
Which sets up this incredible irony almost immediately.
It really does. The text warns you straight up. Trouble is raised by human action, and it can be eliminated by human action. The idea is, if you fear your fate, you should maybe look inward.
Reflect on what you're doing, change course. You could potentially head off disaster.
Right. But the moment you let suspicion, rash action take over, you're not averting the disaster anymore.
You become the disaster.
You basically trigger it. And that leads us straight to the emperor of the Sui dynasty, who, well, let's just say he was terrified of his own shadow.
And it wasn't just general anxiety, was it? It focused on a specific dream.
Oh, yeah. A dream so powerful it just completely unmoored him. He dreamt of a massive flood drowning the capital city. The images.
Chaos. Destruction, the end of his world.
Pretty much. And he becomes paralyzed, right? Not by enemies at the gate, but by this desperate need to find a human face to pin that vision onto.
And how he finds that face. That's where it goes from anxiety to, frankly, madness.
Yeah, it's wild. He fixates on an elder statesman, a guy named Li Hun, and it's all based on these linguistic clues in the dream.
Okay, break that down. It sounds like a dangerous word game.
It really was.
Yeah.
He was looking for water and city from the dream. So the statesman's name, Hun, it contains the water radical, that little symbol for water.
Okay, so check. He's got the water element.
Tick. Now he needs the city.
Right.
Well, Li Hun's title was Duke of Chengguo. And the character for Cheng in his title, well, to the emperor, in his panicked state, it looked a lot like the character for city.
Wait, seriously? Based on a character radical and a resemblance.
That's how the text presents it. It's showing how far gone he is,
Yeah.
how paranoia just twists everything. Water radical, city-like character.
So in his mind, Li Hun, water drowning the city.
Bingo. But there was more. The dream wasn't just about destruction. It hinted at who would replace him.
Ah, the famous Li family prophecy.
That's the one. The dream also had this image of a tree with fruit on top.
Okay.
If you take the character for tree, which is mu, and add the character for sun or fruit, zi, sitting on top.
You combine them.
Oh,
You get the surname Li.
exactly. So the dream is telling him, a Li is going to take over. The next dynasty will be Li. He knew the ruling family was changing.
So he's got Li's surname. He's got the water flood connection through Li Hun's name. What was the final nail in the coffin?
He asks about Li Hun's family, just, casually, and discovers, tragically, that Li Hun's young son, his nickname was Hongwer.
And Hong means...
Flood. It contains the character for flood.
Oh, no.
Yeah. For the emperor, that was it. Li family, water radical, city connection, and now a son literally nicknamed Flood. The alignment was terrifyingly complete in his mind.
And he acted immediately.
Instantly, total rashness. Ordered the innocent kid, Li Hunger, killed by decree. He thought destroy the flood, save the city.
But that violence, that human action, just poured fuel on the fire, murdering an innocent child, a loyal official son.
It created terror, dissent. He did exactly what the opening philosophy warned against. He didn't avert fate. He accelerated it.
The text even includes a little critique, right?
It does. A poem basically says he added o'onu, like demonic trouble with his nightmare, and his actions were just incredibly rash and thoughtless. He ensured fate would be brutal.
Which sets up this perfect contrast for our hero figure, the emperor, paralyzed by fear, misinterpreting everything.
And now we turn to Li Jing, a man who looks at the exact same signs, the same prophecies.
And sees not terror, but opportunity. Pure, audacious ambition.
Absolutely. Li Jing courtesy named Yao Shi from San Yuan. This guy's credentials, they were off the charts. Brilliant military strategist, skilled in literature and martial arts, EC, the text says.
His own uncle, the famous General Han Qinhu, basically called him the next Sun Tzu.
Yeah, he was seen as this rising star, ready for a new era. And when he hears about the emperor murdering Li Hongger, he doesn't mourn.
He laughs.
He laughs. He thinks killing one person. It's pointless if a true king is destined to rise. His line is something like, youth you. If the destined ruler isn't meant to die, what good does killing some kid do? He just dismisses the emperor's panic.
But he doesn't dismiss the prophecy itself, right?
Yeah.
He just reinterprets it.
Exactly. He confirms the Li part. A tree gives birth to a son. Yeah, that's got to be the character Li. That's settled. But the flood.
The emperor saw destruction. What did Li Jing see?
He saw the Great Flood, not as chaos, but as the unification of the empire. The flood wasn't drowning the kingdom, it was washing away the old, corrupt Sui regime, making way for something new, unified.
So now he's certain a Li will rule, and the next logical question for someone like him is,
Could it be me? Is my surname Li? Am I the one?
and this is where his confidence just goes into overdrive. He decides he needs divine confirmation. But he doesn't just, pray politely.
Oh no. This is maybe the boldest act of divination in the entire genre. He goes to Huazhu, to the temple of the West Yu Great King, the god of the western peak, Mount Hua. A seriously powerful deity.
And we need to underscore how audacious this is. You don't demand answers from a major mountain god. That's basically challenging the divine order.
It's completely nuts. It's like marching into, the Supreme Court and demanding they tell you if you should run for president.
So what did he ask?
He submitted a formal petition, a prayer, asking for guidance. Should I assume the great treasure, meaning should I try to seize the throne myself, or should I find and serve a true lord?
Okay, fair question. But then came the kicker.
The threat. He added a condition, non-negotiable.
Which was?
He told the god, basically, if you don't give me a clear answer in 3 tries, I will personally come back here, chop off your statue's head, and burn this temple to the ground.
He threatened to kill the god and destroy his house.
Yep.
Isisil. Can you imagine? The sheer self-belief is staggering.
So how did the god respond? Did the temple just collapse?
No, the initial response was weird. Deliberately ambiguous, you could say.
How so?
He used divination blocks. These are usually 2 pieces of wood, flat on one side, curved on the other. You toss them, they land either yin or yang. Simple binary.
Okay.
His first 2 throws. The blocks didn't land flat. They both landed perfectly balanced, standing straight up on the ground.
Standing up? What does that even mean?
Exactly. It means nothing. It's complete ambiguity, neither yes nor no. It's like the universe saying, whoa there, buddy, not so fast.
But Li Jing wasn't having ambiguity.
Not a chance. He apparently got angry, yelled at the altar, demanded a clear sign of his destiny. He's not taking maybe for an answer.
So the third toss?
The third toss finally gave a clear result. A yang line, a positive, favorable sign.
And how did Li Jing take that? He immediately interpreted it as confirmation. Yang represents the sovereign, the ruler, so in his mind, boom, destiny confirmed. I'm the guy. He was triumphant, left everyone else just staring, bewildered. He'd basically strong-armed the gods into giving him a thumbs up for kingship.
But that's not the end of his story, is it? He doesn't become Emperor Li Jing.
Right, and this is the brilliant narrative twist, the divine correction. He got the sign he demanded, but fate wasn't quite done refining the message.
It came in a dream that night.
That's the subtlety here. Destiny sort of said, okay, you forced my hand, but let me clarify the terms. While he's sleeping at an inn, he gets a visitor.
Not the god himself.
No, the god's official proxy. The West Yu judgment officer, the Hiri, described very specifically, simple cap, black robe, corner belt, very official.
And he brings the scroll.
Yellow paper. And on it is a verse, a poem, that lays out Li Jing's actual path.
Okay, this poem is the pivot point for him, right? It changes everything.
It absolutely does. It basically redirects his ambition. The verse is layered, talks about success in the South and West, finding a wife, the red thread reference.
A destined partner.
Right. Achieving high rank, mounting the phoenix in the government, all sounds great. But the crucial lines are near the end.
What do they say?
They talk about how his success, his foundation, depends on recognizing the true situation. It relies on his ability to see the whole picture.
And the key metaphor.
A single chessboard recognizes the true dragon.
That's it.
The chessboard. Meaning Li Jing isn't meant to be the dragon, the emperor. He's meant to be the one who understands the entire game, the whole board, well enough to identify and support the true dragon, the master strategist.
So it wasn't a no, it was a not that way.
Precisely. And the judgment officer spells it out. He advises him, don't be greedy, don't be impatient, wait for the right time.
And the most important instruction.
Choose the right lord to serve. Find the real destined ruler and help him.
And Li Jing. He accepts this after threatening a god.
Instantly. Based on this divine scroll, he completely abandons the idea of becoming king himself. He realizes his destiny isn't the crown, it's to be the crucial advisor, the one who assists the true lord.
He traded sovereignty for strategic influence. That's fascinating. It confirms that idea that maybe great ambition finds its best outlet in service sometimes.
And the story brings him back down to earth right after this cosmic revelation.
Yeah, there's this simple scene. He's riding near Yuan, visiting a friend. Late spring, early summer.
He stops, asks an old farmer for some tea. And the text makes a point of noting the ground dry, hard. There's been a long drought. Oh no!
It's not just scenery, is it?
And no, it's a subtle reminder the land is suffering under the current regime. The drought reflects the state of the empire, the failure of the Sui. It silently underscores why a change, a true dragon, is needed.
And then fate, or maybe just narrative convenience, pulls him toward his next encounter.
Right. He spots a rabbit near some rocks, shoots with an arrow.
But the rabbit doesn't drop.
Nope. It bolts, running off with the arrow still stuck in it. Classic narrative hook.
So he gives chase.
Of course, he follows this wounded rabbit, maybe chasing the new path he's just been shown, way off into the countryside. Until sunset.
And he realizes he's lost.
Completely lost. Oh, the text says, lost on the twilight path. But then, being lost leads him to see something new.
What's that?
In the distance, high buildings, grand mansions, somewhere he can maybe find lodging for the night.
And he sees this massive estate.
Massive and incredibly luxurious. The sources use descriptions like painted rafters and carved beams, pearl curtains and jade screens. It sounds less like a house and more like, I don't know, a treasure vault.
Just completely over the top. So much wealth, it feels unreal.
Exactly. And Li Jing, maybe he's just exhausted, maybe a bit awestruck. He accepts the situation. He's greeted by this old madam.
Describes her as about 50, dignified, dressed simply, though, which is an interesting contrast.
Carries this sort of regal presence. She lets him stay, mentions her sons are away.
Now, wait a minute. If it's that unrealistically fancy, isn't Li Jing immediately suspicious? Like, this can't be right. Or is he just too tired? Or is there some magic influencing him?
That's a good question. I think he's definitely curious, maybe even a bit wary, but hospitality rules were strong. You generally accept shelter when offered.
Okay, fair enough. But the clues start piling up pretty quickly, right?
Oh, yeah. He can't sleep. The place is probably buzzing with strange energy, so he checks out the library.
And the books aren't, Confucius or histories of the emperors.
Not at all. They're these detailed accounts of, get this, river gods, sea spirits, and aquatic monsters.
That's got to be the first massive, screaming clue, right? This isn't just some wealthy isolationist. This is something else.
Definitely. It points towards some kind of divine administration. Then things get really urgent. Around the second watch, maybe 10 p.m.
Right. There's this sudden commotion.
Yeah. A huge official-looking document arrives. It's called the Heavenly Talisman for Rain Execution. Basically, the divine orders for tonight's weather.
Wow. Like a celestial work order. Li Jing must be freaking out now.
Understandably. And that's when the old madame finally drops the truth bomb. She tells him not to be alarmed, which probably doesn't help much.
Probably not.
And then she says it. This place is the Dragon Palace, and I am the Dragon Mother.
Just like that. Okay, so the Dragon Palace. And she's the Dragon Mother.
And she explains the problem. Her sons, the ones who usually handle the rain-making duties based on these talismans, they're both out of town.
Out of town, doing what?
Well, one's taking his sister to her wedding, way off somewhere. The other son is actually getting married himself, over at Lake Dongting.
So inconvenient timing for the weather schedule.
Very. Seems the divine calendar doesn't really account for personal leave or weddings. The rain has to fall.
So she needs a stand-in. And Li Jing is the only one there.
He's the guy. The mandate is super specific. Rain tonight, cover a huge area 500 leagues west to south, start exactly at the third watch, stop exactly at dawn, no flexibility.
That's intense. And what does Li Jing do? He's just a mortal guy lost in the woods moments ago.
Well, this is where his character, even this early, sort of shows through. The text calls him young, brilliant, and bold.
So he doesn't panic.
Apparently not. He just agrees, steps up to the plate, accepts the divine assignment.
Wow, okay. Bold is right. How do they prepare him for, being the rain god?
The Dragon Mother gives him this special wine first. It's fragrant, and she says it'll guard against thunder and strengthen courage.
A bit of magical liquid courage. And presumably something to protect his mortal senses from the divine power.
Exactly. That seems to be the idea. It has to shield his human system. He takes a sip and instantly feels vigorous, ready for anything. It kind of numbs the sheer terror, maybe.
Okay, so he's fortified. What about the actual rain-making part, the mechanics?
This is where it gets really interesting, moving from fantasy adventure into almost divine procedure. He mounts this strange, big dragon horse.
A flying horse.
Seems so, flies smoothly through the air, and his tools are incredibly simple.
Like what? Buckets, hoses?
Not even close. He gets a small glass bottle called the Water Mother tied to his saddle. It's just filled with clear water.
Okay.
And tied to the bottle's mouth, there's a tiny golden spoon.
A tiny spoon. That's it for 500 lines of rain.
That's it. And the instructions are absolutely critical. They hammer this point home. Every single time the horse jumps, he has to use that tiny spoon to take out one single drop of water. Just one. And place it on the horse's mane.
1 drop per jump. What does that even do?
Here's the crucial rule, the core principle. 1 drop of water equals 1 chi. That's about a foot of rain in the human world.
1 drop equals 1 foot of rain. Whoa.
Precisely. And he's warned, like, multiple times. Do not use more, do not use less. Stick to the single drop. The system relies on absolute precision. There's no room for close enough for human feelings.
Okay, the pressure is immense, so he takes off.
He takes off, flies through the night. The sources say thunder and lightning are flashing beneath the horse's hooves, which sounds pretty epic.
Must have been quite a ride.
And he's doing it. He's following the instructions perfectly, drop by drop, jump by jump, covering the whole 500 lies. He's sticking to the rules for hours.
For him, sticking to the divine script.
Until near dawn. The horse makes a jump, he looks down, the light is just starting to break, and he recognizes the land below him.
Recognizes it. How?
It's the exact spot where he stopped earlier that day when he was lost. Remember the farmer?
Oh, the one who gave him the tea of respect.
That's the one. He sees the fields down there looking parched and dry, and that human connection, that feeling of gratitude, it just kicks in.
Uh-oh. I sense a deviation from the plan.
Big time. He thinks basically 1 drop, that's only a foot of rain. That won't help these poor fields at all.
He's thinking like a human, not a celestial bureaucrat.
Exactly. He rationalizes it. Hey, I've got the power right now. Why not show a little extra kindness here? His empathy overrides the explicit fundamental instruction he was given.
It's the classic good intentions problem, but on a cosmic scale.
Totally. It's a failure of execution driven by perceived virtue. So he looks down at that small area, thinks of the farmer.
Don't leave me hanging.
Instead of the single mandated drop, Li Jing deliberately scoops out and dumps over 20 drops of water right there.
20. But 1 drop was a foot of rain.
You got it. He essentially gave that one small spot 20 feet of rain instantly, 20 times the allowed amount.
Oh, that cannot be good. That's not rain, that's a deluge.
Precisely. He finishes the route, flies back to the Dragon Palace, probably feeling quite pleased with his little act of targeted generosity.
But the reception probably wasn't what he expected.
Not at all. The Dragon Mother is waiting for him, but she's dressed in simple, mourning clothes. She looks distraught.
Oh, dear.
And she tells him what happened, his generosity. It caused an absolute disaster in that specific region.
A flood.
A massive instantaneous flood. The water level shot up to 2 zhang, that's roughly 20 chi, or about 2 meters. Fields, houses, people, all submerged. His extra kindness was catastrophic.
Wow. Okay, so what happens now? Does he get punished?
Well, here's the twist. The consequences are severe, yes, but they fall on the divine beings, not the mortal substitute who made the error.
Really? The Dragon Mother gets in trouble.
She does. She tells Li Jing that she, personally, has to face heavenly punishment. 100 lashes on the back.
Ouch. For his mistake.
For the failure that happened on her watch, under her authority, and her sons. They'll be punished too, because it was their responsibility ultimately. The celestial bureaucracy doesn't seem to care much who messes up, just that the rules were broken.
That seems harsh. But maybe consistent for gods.
Perhaps. Li Jing, of course, is utterly ashamed, full of remorse. But the Dragon Mother is surprisingly understanding. She doesn't rage at him.
No.
No, she basically says, well, this must have been fate, and then moves right on to compensating him for his service.
Compensating him after he caused a flood and got her whipped.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? But she recognizes he's a gentleman, so she refuses to offer him pearls or gold, thinking mundane wealth isn't appropriate given the tragedy.
Okay, so what does she offer?
Instead, she offers him 2 beautiful handmaidens.
Handmaidens. Okay, shifting gears here.
Right. And this is where Li Jing, the strategist, kind of reappears. There's Wenbi, the civil handmaiden. She's smiling, suggests comfort, ease.
And the other?
Wu Bi, the martial handmaiden. She looks a bit stern, slightly angry maybe, suggests toughness, discipline, utility.
So he has a choice, comfort or capability,
Well,
essentially.
pretty much. And Li Jing, even in this moment of, extreme embarrassment and probably shock, he thinks strategically.
How so?
He figures, if I take both, I look greedy. That's bad. If I just take the smiling, civil one, Wenbi, maybe I look weak, like I'm choosing comfort over strength. Also bad for a future leader.
So he opts for toughness.
Exactly. He chooses Wu Bi, the martial handmaiden. It's a brilliant move psychologically. It shows his mind is already prioritizing preparedness and, martial virtue over simple comfort. It aligns with who he's meant to become.
A general's mindset already forming.
You could say that. And this choice immediately unlocks the real reward. They leave the Dragon Palace and get this, they walk just a few steps away, turn around, the whole opulent compound, the Dragon Palace, it's just vanished, gone, poof.
Wow. Underscoring the whole unreal temporary nature of it all.
Totally. And right then, the martial handmaiden, Wu Bi, stops him. She reveals the whole handmaiden offer was just a setup, a pretext.
A pretext for what?
She pulls a book out of her sleeve, hands it to him, the title, Mastering the Enemy, Assisting the Lord to Success.
That's the compensation, the real prize.
Absolutely. This is the payoff for his, albeit disastrous, service and his strategically sound choice. She explains her only job was to deliver this book, tells him he's destined to find his real wife later, and then she vanishes too.
So the handmaiden wasn't a companion. She was a delivery service for the ultimate military textbook.
Pretty much. And the book itself, it's described as containing the essentials of military deployment, like top-tier strategic thinking plus detailed designs and methods for weapons, chariots, and armor.
Basically everything he'd need to become a legendary general.
Exactly. This one, single chaotic encounter, born from a huge mistake, instantly downloads all the theoretical and practical knowledge needed for his entire future career.
It's an incredible trade-off, isn't it? He fails spectacularly at the divine task.
Causes a natural disaster.
But through that failure, and by making the right symbolic choice afterwards, he proves himself worthy of receiving this ultimate military knowledge.
Yeah, his character, his remorse, and his strategic instinct in choosing Wu Bi kind of qualified him, despite the flood.
Okay, but meanwhile, back in the human world, there's still the small matter of that massive flood he caused.
Right. Reality check. The local authorities report this sudden, devastating flood to the Sui Emperor, and the Emperor's reaction is, well, it's interesting.
How does he react? Annoyed, angry, demanding answers?
You'd think so, but according to the story, connecting this to the bigger picture, the Emperor feels a strange sense of relief.
Relief.
Eh.
About a devastating flood. Why?
Because apparently he'd had a prophetic dream earlier, predicting some kind of disaster for the realm.
Okay, so the flood confirmed his bad dream.
Exactly. The political situation must have been tense, lots of anxiety about the future, the stability of the dynasty, the prophecy foretold trouble.
And when the flood happens, even though it's terrible, it kind of fulfills the prophecy, ticks that box.
That seems to be the implication. It's like, okay, the foretold disaster has occurred.
And then a chilling story, really.
So what we've got is this narrative of court plots, these rumors starting in the countryside and ending up in the palace, and it all centers on just how dangerous having the wrong name could be. Okay, let's unpack this.
So first things first, we need to understand why Yuan was even on the Crown Prince's radar.
Right, the Crown Prince was already trying to consolidate his power, wasn't he? Removing obstacles.
Absolutely. The emperor was getting older, and the Crown Prince Guang was nervous. He saw threats everywhere, especially from his own family. His brother, Xu Wangxi, was the first major target.
How did he get rid of him?
He didn't do it directly. Too risky. He used Yang Su, a very powerful official, to essentially frame Xu. They drummed up charges of cruelty and tyranny.
And the emperor went along with it.
He did. Xu Wangxi was stripped of his title, his status, everything. Became a commoner, a shuren, just like that.
Ouch. And this is where Yuan steps in, puts his neck out.
This is the moment.
Yeah.
Yuan, known then as Tang, did something incredibly brave or maybe reckless. He submitted an official memorial, a critique.
What did it say?
He basically argued, look, you've already demoted these guys, your previous Crown Prince Yang and now Xu Wangxu, to minor kings. Making them commoners is it's excessive. It's destabilizing for the dynasty.
Wow, that took guts. Criticizing a move orchestrated by the Crown Prince. Did the emperor react badly?
The source says the emperor did not condemn him, surprisingly. But you can bet the Crown Prince noticed.
Oh, absolutely. That act of, integrity probably painted a huge target on Li Yuan's back.
Exactly. The crown prince was known to be intensely jealous and paranoid himself. Li Yuan was now officially a problem, a big one.
So the prince needed him gone.
He did. He calls in his advisors, his sort of political fixers, Zhang Heng and Yuan Shu. The goal: get Li Yuan out of the picture permanently.
And this is where the strategy shifts, right? From attacking his actions to attacking, well, his name.
Precisely. They couldn't pin any disloyalty on him directly after that memorial incident. So Zhang Heng, who seems to be the real brains behind this part, decides to play on the emperor's known weaknesses.
Which were?
His superstition. The emperor was known to be deeply suspicious, saksing keisin, the text says. And crucially, he'd recently had this disturbing dream.
The flood.
Yeah, a dream of a huge flood just washing away the capital city.
This image of overwhelming water, it really stuck with him. It made him anxious.
And wasn't there already a precedent for this kind of fear leading to death? Something about another official named Li?
Yes, absolutely key context. Li Hun. The emperor had forced Li Hun's young son, Hong'er, to commit suicide. Why? Because the boy's name, Hong, sounded like the word for flood, Hong.
Sounding like flood got him killed.
It did. The emperor feared the name itself fulfilled some kind of hidden prophecy, a tushin. So if a sound was deadly, imagine having a name associated with water in a more direct way.
The stage was perfectly set for Zhang Heng.
It really was. Zhang Heng knew he didn't need facts. He needed fear. He even looked back at history, apparently, citing a case from Northern Qi where an official named Zhu Ting destroyed a general using fake rumors. He saw it could work.
So this is calculated disinformation, ancient political warfare.
Textbook. Here's where it gets really clever, or maybe insidious. They didn't just whisper in the emperor's ear. They started rumors, 2 key phrases, out in the provinces, making them seem like organic folk sayings.
What were the phrases?
The first one was sort of poetic. Peach and plum children will take the empire. Ta lizi yu tiangxia.
And Li sounds like plum.
Exactly. The character for Li Yuan's surname is identical to the word for plum. Subtle, but clear if you're looking for it.
Okay, what was the second one?
Much more direct. The Yang family will be extinguished. The Li family will rise. Yang Shimi, Li Shisoking. No ambiguity there.
And they spread these. How?
Started with children chanting them in the countryside, apparently. Then the rumors filter up through the towns into the city streets until eventually the crown prince could innocently report these disturbing street rumors to his already paranoid father.
The trap is sprung, clever and terrifying.
It is. But there was a slight miscalculation initially, which actually might have bought Li Yuan some time. The emperor, hearing Li family rising and thinking about water, immediately jumped back to the other Li he was paranoid about.
Li Hon, the father of the boy who was killed.
Exactly. He focused his suspicion there first, but Zhang Heng was ready.
How did he keep the focus potentially shifting to Li Yuan?
Linguistics. He pointed out something crucial to the emperor. Both Li Han's given name, Hun, and Li Yuan's given name, Yuan Hen, share the same visual component, the radical prisi, which means water.
Oh, wow. So visually, on paper, they were linked by water.
Right. Suddenly, they're not just 2 guys named Li. They're both linked to water, linked to the flood dream, linked to this prophecy, twin threats.
And that connection had deadly consequences for Li Han.
Immediate and brutal. Another official, a minor one named Pei Renji, saw which way the wind was blowing. He jumps in and accuses Li Hun of treason, saying he resented his son's death and was plotting rebellion.
Was there any proof?
Doesn't seem like it mattered. The accusation, combined with the emperor's paranoia fueled by Zhang Heng, was enough. Li Hun was declared a traitor.
And the punishment?
Swift and horrifying. Li Hun and 31 members of his family were executed. Publicly, in the marketplace, Jin Fu Shi Kao.
32 people. Based on a sound-alike name, a shared water radical, and a rumor.
It's staggering. It shows the level of fear and, frankly, the ruthlessness at play.
Li Yuan must have been terrified, but maybe also slightly relieved that the emperor's suspicion had landed elsewhere for the moment.
Perhaps. But that relief was short-lived. The plotters, Zhang Heng and the crown prince, saw the execution of Li Hun not as an end, but as proof of concept.
They doubled down.
Radically. Zhang Heng brings in another player, a diviner or sorcerer named Anjiatuo, someone the emperor trusted.
In the message this time.
Much, much darker. Anjiatuo tells the emperor, look, this Li family really is destined to rule. Killing just Li Hun isn't enough. You need to eliminate the entire threat.
Meaning?
Meaning, Anjiatu advised the emperor to kill every single person in the entire empire with the surname Li.
That's That's genocide based on a surname. Utter madness.
It's almost unimaginable, from a political plot against one man to a potential state-sponsored massacre.
This must have caused some pushback, surely. Someone had to see. This was insane.
Thankfully, yes. This is where a figure of reason steps in. Shang Shu Yu Chenggao Ying, a senior minister.
Hi, Ying. What did he do?
He wrote a crucial memorial, a counter-argument. And it's brilliant because he doesn't directly deny prophecy exists or call the emperor foolish for believing.
Smart. So how did he approach it?
He sort of categorized prophecies. He acknowledged some might seem unrelated but happen anyway, like strange omens before rain. He acknowledged some are directly linked to events, like the Baohu Jifu prophecy tied to the fall of the Zhou state. He even acknowledged true prophecies, citing the famous one. Though Chu has only 3 households left, it will surely destroy Qin.
Okay, so he's validating the idea of prophecy.
Exactly, but then he brings up the crucial category, the false, fabricated prophecy designed for political destruction. And he uses the exact same historical example Zhang Hang had used internally.
Yuan Ting's plot against Hulu Guang in northern Qi.
Precisely. He points out that Zhu Ting's fake rumors destroyed a loyal general and directly led to the fall of the northern Qi state. He's basically holding up a mirror to the emperor and saying, you see this. This is what happens when you act on manufactured fear. You destroy your own state.
That's a masterstroke. He's warning the emperor that the real danger isn't the Lai family, it's the plotters manipulating him using the Lai family.
Absolutely. And his conclusion wasn't just about avoiding a mistake, it was about positive action. He argued the way to secure the dynasty, to, please heaven, wasn't mass execution Yongxing. That just creates chaos.
What was the alternative?
Cultivating virtue. Yu Dai. Good governance, wise rule. That's how you secure the mandate of heaven, not bloodshed based on whispers.
A return to reason. Did it work? Did the emperor listen?
He listened. Haiying had given him a way out that addressed the fear without resorting to mass murder. He proposed a compromise. Simple, non-lethal. Remove everyone named Li from positions of power at court and in the military. Buddha Zai Chao, Buddha Guanbing Yangxi. Take away their influence, address the threat symbolically, but don't kill them.
And Li Yuan? How did this play out for him?
This was his lifeline. The immediate danger, the threat of mass execution, was off the table thanks to Haiying. Seeing his chance, Li Yuan acted quickly.
What did he do? Flee?
No, more subtle. He claimed illness, Ki Taiwan Yongbing, asked for permission to leave the capital, go back to his family base in Taiwan to recover his health.
And the emperor agreed.
He did, probably relieved to have a solution. But here's the incredible irony.
Go on.
While letting Li Yuan leave court, the emperor appointed him Taiwan Futon-shu, basically the overseer or governor of Taiwan.
So the plot designed to destroy him ends up sending him away from the dangerous court and puts him in charge of a major regional power base, the very place he'd later launch his rebellion from?
Exactly. The attempt to neutralize him through superstition inadvertently set him up with the resources and geographic position he needed to eventually fulfill the prophecy they feared.
Wow. The irony is just thick. But the immediate danger wasn't over yet, was it? The crown prince couldn't have been happy.
Not at all. The source says he and Yuan Shu were furious. They complained that Zhang Heng's clever water radical plot had only succeeded in, quote, wrongly harming Li Hun, while the real target, Li Yuan, got away.
So they weren't giving up?
Definitely not. It ends right here on this cliffhanger. Yuan Shu assures the frustrated crown prince that he has a new plan, a darker one.
What does he promise?
He says he'll either arrange to kill Li Yuan and his family directly, or, feeling that, he'll give him such a scare Jati Jixia that Li Yuan will be terrified into permanent powerless retirement.
So Li Yuan escapes the net of prophecy only to face the threat of direct assassination or political intimidation.
Exactly. The game isn't over.